Good morning. This is Sissy with stampinwithsissy.net. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I wanted to share my passion with you. Today I'll be showing you how to make this adorable little test tube treat box for your Halloween kitties. Let's get started by introducing the materials we're going to need. We need basic black 11 by 4 and I'll show you how we score that in a minute. We need some pumpkin pie, just some scraps. Actually, we need one piece that is 1 1/4 by 2 1/4, and then a scrap piece that's maybe 3 by 1 3/4. And we need the DSP Spooky Night paper, and that's this paper that is has the test tubes on the one side, and that one of them is 2 1/4 by 1, and then we have two of them at 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. And then we have this little square that is cut 1 by 5/8 and put a hole that's about a 1/2 inch circle in the middle. We also need the 7/8 inch stripe ribbon, a vintage crochet trim, just little piece of the vintage crochet trim. We also need a scrap piece of basic black. We need your Memento ink. I've got VersaFine until it's out, and then I'll get the Memento ink. We need the Labels to Love stamp set, which I love. It has Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, New Year's, all kinds of things you can use over and over again all throughout the year. We also need this adorable little test tube. I love this because it's plastic, so I'm not afraid to give it to my grandkids. So let's get started. Now we're going to score our paper at 1 1/4 all the way down, 2 1/2. Then we're going to turn it horizontally, score it at 1/2 inch, 1 3/4 inch, 4 1/4 inch, 5 1/2, and then at the 8 mark, we're going to only score it part way to the line on both sides. All right, we're finished scoring. Now we need to cut our paper. We're going to cut off these little pieces here. Then we're going to put little notches. If you're a seamstress, you know what that means. So they fold more evenly. Just a little sliver. And then we're going to take this whole part off here and do the same thing on the other side. Piece of designer series paper. Need a circle, cut it out. So this is take 2 of this video because when I was reviewing it before I uploaded it, I noticed that you couldn't see a single thing I was doing. So here we go again. Let's burnish all of our score lines so that we'll have a nice clean fold. Now let's put on the sides and the top. I'm going to use my tape runner. We're going to be working on this part of our box. So the side ones, we will adhere to each of these sides. And then the wider one goes in the middle. And here's the part that goes here. I'm just going to take my piece that goes in the middle here, slide it in, make my hole. Then I'll attach it up on the top. Now we're going to use our tear and tape. This stuff is amazing. I love it because it's a really strong adhesive and it's so easy to work with. We're going to put one piece on this side because it's going to be tucked in. Then we're going to turn it over and put a piece on the inside of the layer that we just put our designer series paper on. And on the other side. I'm going to get my piercing tool because it's a miracle worker on my chubby fingers. Pull off these sides. Put some tear and tape right along here so the flaps will stick in. Sorry, I forgot that part. Then we'll fold this middle part up, line it up with the bottom like this. And again on the other side, just line it up along the edge of the fold. And we take this front part and fold it up and tape it along the sides like that and like this. Then we take our piercing tool and just kind of help it adhere. Slide these two sides inside. And then fold the part that has the adhesive on it in. And again, just use the handle of your piercing tool to help it adhere securely. And so now we have a box that looks like this. I wanted the test tube to fit in there snugly, so the hole is just barely smaller than the test tube, so you can just slide it in like that. Okay. Now we looking at here, our pumpkin pie with back. And I cut out this little spider web before we started just to save some time. Isn't that cute? I'm going to use my liquid monosort glue because it dries quickly and sticks very nicely. Put it up in the corner. Let that dry for a minute. And now we're going to stamp our sentiment. I have my pumpkin pie paper. And now we're going to stamp our sentiment. I have my pumpkin pie paper. I'm going to ink up my sentiment with black ink. Stamp it firmly on the paper. I'm quickly going to put it into my, and I'm quickly going to put the embossing powder over it. Turn on my heat gun. I love dry embossing. Now I'm going to punch out my sentiment with this handy punch. I'm going to punch out a second one out of the black that I can use as a background. And I'll show you how you do that. You just take your black, you take your scissors, you cut it in half. Then you adhere the back to the sentiment. Line up the bottom and the top. And do the same with this. So, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of the sentiment. But I'm going to put them towards the center because if you put it too close to the side, it'll hang over and you'll have your dimensionals showing on the sides of your project. So, put it on the front. Now all we have left to do is to add our ribbon. I like to measure my ribbon on the project because that way I seem to waste less. Take our crochet trim, tie a little knot, make it as snug as you can so it doesn't slide up and down, or you could just add some adhesive on the back to hold it in place. Whatever works. And then you add your little test tube, fill it with candy, and you have happy trick-or-treaters. I'm just getting started in the business, and it would really help me if you like what you see. Please hit the subscribe link below so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you for watching. I hope you see you again. Thank you. Bye.